Hey there, everybody. Practice problems for Wednesday, September 24th. We had page number 63, problems 1, 2, 3, and 4. Starting with number 1, we're finding unit rates here, just like we did in class today. It says a hippopotamus can run 6 kilometers in 15 minutes. At this rate, how far can the hippopotamus run in 1 minute? So we should have a table, and we are doing kilometers per minute. So we know that 6 kilometers were done in 15 minutes. We want to find the number of kilometers done in 1 minute. Now it's difficult to go from 15 to 1. You would be dividing by 15. All right, so we're going to start, little by little dealing with decimals and fractions. We're going to get there. It's just, a process to figure it out. So now you could divide by 15. Divide both sides by 15. And really, if you divide 6 by 15, the result is literally 6/15. Remember, every fraction is a division problem. So 6/15 is 6 divided by 15. The problem is there's not a whole amount of 15s that fits into 6. So we're dealing with decimals. So you could reduce this, right, if we divide both sides by 3. And that would end up becoming 2/5. And I gave you a sheet that you should have in your notebooks, fractions, decimals, and percents. So 2/5 is literally 2 divided by 5, all right? And it's not going to be a whole number, so we would have to put a decimal point and a 0, decimal point up here, treat them like whole numbers, and do our long division steps. So the real answer in decimals would also be 4/10, which is equivalent to 2/5. So he would do 4/10 of a kilometer each minute, okay? If you keep it at 6/15, not the end of the world, but we want to know what the understanding of that fraction is as a decimal as well. It gives us a little bit more of a, you would probably say, oh, I ran 4/10 of a kilometer, not I ran 6/15 of a kilometer. So everyday language. All right, number 2. Imena earned $261 last week. If she worked 18 hours and earned the same amount each hour, how much did she make per hour? How much was she paid per hour? So we have dollars per hour. And it's $261, 18 hours. We want this to become a 1. So there are things we can do to help us. Remember the trick I taught you in class today? All right, if we can count up these numbers, 2, 6, and 1, the individual numbers, 2 plus 6 is 8, plus 1 is 9. That means we can divide this by 3. We also could divide this by 3. So that's something we could do. Now, we could try dividing both of them by 18. We could see if that works. 18 divided by 18 is 1. Does 18 fit evenly into 261? Well, 1 times 18 is 18. We would subtract here. We would get 8. And then does 18 fit into 81? Well, it's not going to fit an exact amount of times. All right, so the problem there is that it's not going to come out evenly. So how many 18s fit into 81? It would be 4, and that would be 72. Okay, and then 81 minus 72 is 9. And this is where you would need to know that decimal math. So we could put a decimal point here and a decimal point here, put a 0 here, bring that down. And now 18 does fit into 90 evenly if it's in 5 times. So we would get 14.5. So as a decimal, that would become $14.50 with money. You go back to dividing by 3, however, you could divide 18 by 3, and that would be 6. And then you'd have to divide 261 by 3. But it might be a little easier to work with those numbers. 261 divided by 3. 3 fits into 26 8 times. And it fits into 21 7 times. So now $87 for 6 hours, then we could divide both 6 and 87 by 6, all right? Or we could divide by 3. 3 fits into 6 twice, and it fits into 87 29 times. So we've got 2 and 29, and we could cut that in half and make it 1 and 1450. So you're going to have some kind of comfort with the numbers a little bit. You're going to have, deal with some decimals because we're dealing with money. Not everything is an even dollar amount, right? So we have to figure out how to work with some decimals. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of set up the next two for you. I'm not gonna do them for you. Number 3, you have a cat's heartbeat approximately 45 times in 15 seconds. At this rate, how many heartbeats is it per second? So this one's a little easier. The numbers are a little bit easier. You have heartbeats and you have per second. So we know it's 45 times in 15 seconds. You should be able to get to 1 in 1 step here. And then number 6, the toy store. Colton can buy a package of 6 mini footballs for $6.50, or oh no, we're not doing that one. Mr. Farley, I'm sorry. Mr. Farley, no relation to Mr. Furley from Three's Company. Mr. Farley used 4 pounds of hamburger to make 10 patties. So we have hamburgers, well, let's use pounds. So we're gonna do pounds. And patties. So we'll do LBS for pounds and we'll do P for patties. 4 pounds of hamburger makes 10 patties. How many pounds of hamburger did he use per patty? So you want to try to change this 4 to a 1. Now, if I were you, I would cut these in half before you get to 1. Cut these in half and then cut in half again. Okay? All right. Work with us. These decimals are going to be a little bit difficult, but we'll get through it. See you tomorrow.